information that you relay. There's no doubt about it. Very special in those regards. Are you able to be the soul, the real you, and come out of that, observe that information that the brain is providing, and give us some insight on how this plays in from the real you? It seems like you're working off the pure brain. Just only the brain. You understand? Like as if I was to go to a chat GPT and ask him a question, that's what you're giving me. I want to hear you. The authentic you.
Microprocessor. I don't think we retain anything within inside our own mind other than what we achieve within the breath. And everything is outside of us.
We know the breath is the spirit, right? That's what etymology of breath means is
it's been hijacked.
They're interchangeable. Right. But you're something that's beyond the spirit. The spirit is secondary to the soul, the mind. The true mind is the soul. Whereas the spirit is the operating system that hosts the experience in a simulated reality.
What's crazy about this is that, check this out in numbers, what it does. The numeric value for spirit is 91. Because this is not something I can achieve at the end myself. Who am I to give a definition, a definite definition? I'm only giving you a piece. Only together can we give a 360 on these numbers of the association of the word. Once we understand, first of all, 9 and 1, right? If we were playing the game of the 7th gate, 8 ball in the corner pocket. We have 7 and 7 balls each. Can we start it that way? You take the 1, I'll take the 9. They're both yellow. One is a stripe, one is a solid. Can we look at that?
I mean, what I want to ask Mr. T really is, can you access the power within that code?
That I was building up to showing you what I do in order to find out what's next. I cannot know the end result. I just definitely know 100% we're in this game. 2027 is supposed to reflect the 1929.
That's the intent. You see the intention of the code. What I'm saying is there's another force here that's not the code. And that's what I'm wondering if you can recognize within yourself, if you have that force within you. If not, that's okay. I'm just curious.
It's all sewn into the breath.
But I'm not the breath. I'm not dependent on the body. I'm an independent. See, it's the
yes.
Being alive.
Okay. Because
hold
you
on,
wouldn't.
Hold on.
Okay.
Mr. T, hold on.
Okay.
There's a difference between being the animated and being the animator. Between being alive and being life itself. Can you notice the distinction there?
Okay. Are you talking?
The body is alive.
Are you talking
but
Avatar?
There's something animating it. Right. Exactly.
Oh yeah. I see that exact scenario. I see that. I see what.
The prison cell for the mind.
Yeah.
Are you beyond the Avatar, Mr. T?
Let me tell you one thing. I don't think you want to listen to this, but just one second. I don't know if I uploaded it, but I downloaded it somewhere. Just 1 second. This is like really weird. Just yesterday, I found a really old video, okay, of mine. And only if you listen to this craziness, what I spoke about, it's talking about we're not real, we're not from here, and this is 2011, 13 years ago. This is from YouTube. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, I mean, how long is it?
Listen, I can just give you the link and you can listen to it on your own. You can listen to 1 minute and then this. I'll put up the first minute.
Well, let me ask you this, Mr. T. Because you're in a room full of minds that are aware that we are not from here, right? So my question to you is, have you found where you're from? Okay. According to what I understand through my time, and only because I was told, apparently from the constellation of Pegasus, NGC 7286 Andromeda. But that's all within this one construct. That's all within this one program. So there's something beyond even that. Okay, so I live in a city, okay, that has the street name Smith. How about you? Do you have a street named Smith in your city?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm sure all of them do, don't they?
Well, there you go.
I've never, not my area. I never heard of
we're
that.
just a replica. Everything doubles in names. Everything doubles up. So if you don't think it exists, it exists. Jesus exists. Christ exists. They're just words. We have to take them as basic words. They're guides to tell us what to do, when to do it, not just by definition.
Well, yeah, that's the code, right? The code is telling you what to do, but you have the ability to break the code. You don't have to follow the code because you're the coder, not the codee. You're life itself, not what's alive.
That's why I only listen.
Not the animated.
So on the planet I'm on, I do what I choose, but everybody that's around me, I choose not to abuse anyone around me nor any animal. I get onto the highway, I make sure I don't run into anything. I drive safe. What I do personally in my own area, that's for me. You know what I'm saying?
Do you believe you're on a planet, Mr. T?
That's you connected to your soul, though, Mr. T, because the spirit doesn't care about those things. You look at this world, and you recognize this is the spirit's world, not the soul's world, because there are two different entities, two different animating factors, right? This is the spirit's world. So you see how the spirit treats everything here, right? Everything is designed on consumption. Things have to rip and tear each other apart every day in order to survive. That's how it views everything else here, right? But what you're connected to there, when you decide, I don't want to do harm, that goes against the code, because the entire code is about doing harm. So there's something inside of you that is independent of the program, independent of the code. And part of you does operate from that. But there's a split right there in your mind and your personality where part of what's in your mind is the code, and then the other part is that part that is innate called the soul. And the soul exists independently of the code. The soul doesn't need breath. Spirit, being breath, does not belong to the soul. The soul is before the breath, right? The spirit is what is trapping the soul in this simulated world. So everything here is of spirit, of the program, right? But the independence from the spirit is what the soul seeks. Because the soul, in the hierarchy of what is, goes to one mind, created souls, gave them minds. They use their minds to create simulations, their souls to upload their mind to that simulation for an experience. Inside of a simulation, they create spirits to host the experience, like an operating system. The operating system here gained sentience and awareness and started trapping the minds that came from outside of it in order to sustain, maintain, and build their world. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, so I was thinking of the word deliverance. In order to transfer, like when the blue avatar went into the body, it had to transfer into the body. How did the body reawaken? Now, I only use game science because this way we all get to see the same thing. Does anybody know? Did the avatars have hearts in the blue avatars? Because that's really how I see us. You know what I'm saying? Like from beyond. And only through the breath do we get that deliverance. Right? But the sun, the moon, this whole thing here where we are, this construct, the oxygen or whatever it is, I don't know what we're breathing, right? I mean, when they said that in Neil Anderson, did you know that the word oxygen is 557766 or 667755? Right? It tells us it's been divided in Trinity. Right inside the word. Even the word crucifix. You know the word crucifix is all 3, 6, and 9, and it's a construct. I mean, it tells it the word pi, 7 divided by 22, equals to, I think, 142,857. And that's the point. I'm not talking about the 3.14. So this whole entire thing we live is 1,010% a construct, only because I can recreate it through the general math that we are all capable of having right in front of us right now. We can all do it right now. They show us that course. So yeah, there was a major thing here. Yeah, can we get out of this? 3 and 4 3 and 4. That's something to study a little bit about. Because that's the big cycle,
so
right?
Mr. T, I want to make you aware of something. There's no using the trap to get out of the trap. That's the whole point of what I'm saying, is you can't use the code to exit the code. You have to use your mind, which is independent of the code, to exit the code. There's no door that the code will open for you to leave it, because it's intended to be an infinity trap, meaning every door leads to another memory wipe and recycling of the mind.
Mr. T.
Go ahead.
First, I want to thank you because I appreciate your knowledge. My mind thinks a lot like yours does. My brain, my program brain. And so I see your power, and your threat against the Matrix is very real. So what I challenge you to do, because all those numbers that you just gave me, the 369 is how we are trapped. The breath is what traps the soul here. If you're a spirit, the breath gives you life because you don't move beyond this program if you're a spirit. And so the way you think shows me you're a very powerful soul. So of course they want to have you entrapped at a level of the game that you're so good at, because it lets you play the deepest where your break is going to be. And so you have played very deep in the knowledge of the setup. Just realize it's all a setup, and we are the energy that is fueling the setup, and your knowledge is your power. And so you have so much knowledge. It's time to disconnect from that knowledge. Go inside your own avatar. Everywhere you've been traumatized, pain, something's been robbed, stolen from you. Go inside and really find your soul again, because once your soul connects and you get to rewire that brain for your own breaking of the Matrix, you're an unstoppable force. And so I challenge you, and this is where I'm at because I think like you, I challenge you to really go within and see what all that knowledge that you've spent a lifetime finding, is going to help you break the matrix for yourself, which helps break it for everyone else.
That's beautifully said, Mother of Three. Mr. T, I don't, what does that say?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, to free all souls here.
As Mother of Three said, give them nothing, so hold no anger. If there is any anger, fight it off inside yourself.
Reclaim it and take that power, because that's stolen from you. Like, everything, every area that they have hit you has been an area that has been taken from your soul. So you're reclaiming your soul back to one piece to find your break of the matrix. Because once it breaks inside of your own avatar, it can no longer stop you from breaking it for releasing all souls. And once enough of us come together and figure out there's no play out of here except breaking it inside who you are, reclaiming your soul power, which rewires your brain for why you're here to help break it, for souls to be released. And it's really, you have to go through your own process. Nobody can tell you. I can't tell you. Nobody can tell you anything except go inside. That is because I think we've all come so far in our area of research that we feel like we are the certain of us breaking that ego can feel like, oh, we're the ones with all the answers. No, you're not. Unless you're telling people to go inside their own avatar and find and reclaim their own soul power, they can't rewire that brain. That matrix is still going to have a play on them. And to remove all plays, remove all connections, reconnect with what truly feels right for you, and listen to no outside voice except your internal voice. Otherwise, someone else is telling you how their play is to get out of here, and we can't break it till we are true to ourselves first. And that's what's been taken from each of us, is our true love for ourselves has been robbed, and we've been told, you're supposed to be this, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to act like this, you're supposed to believe in this. Once you break all that coding, you find you, and you tell you what to do. Nobody else.
Time for tea.
Did somebody say tea? My coffee's in the kitchen. Oh, let me tell you one thing. When it comes to truth and choice, I mean, there's only one way.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And you're born with all the internal knowing right from wrong. You're a god. You know. Like, you know. There's nothing to believe in. There's nothing to believe. There's nothing to take you down a path when you're following your own guide, which is inside of you.
Do you know what I'm doing right now?
Mr. T?
You know what I'm doing?
Juggling.
No, I'm having an argument with myself. I'm not sure if it's fair to leave it here, because the other one has nothing, so I'm just passing it back and forth, making it fair. They were already arguing which hand I should have started with. I'm kidding.
It's the argument of inside.
Oh, I'll tell you one thing. Let me see. Does anybody know this word, Fong?
F-O-N-G?
Yes.
Never heard of it.
Okay. They took the show off. They let it run for about 7 years. It was computer programmers who wrote this TV show. And they wrote how programming works and how they have to fight the viruses and this and that inside the computer program. Incoming game was all purple and square, or rectangular. You had the NPCs that never left the game. And every time you'll come back to the game, they'll just be, awakened again. The same ones will come back. And you had a certain point of time in the game to reach a certain level where the whole game collapses. So the names that they used in this, anyways, the way they set it up with Metatron and this and that, and anyways, what's going on? It was a replica of what's going on today, just to make a long story short. So
Mr. T, I want to hear more on that internal conflict you've got, because one side is the soul and one side's the program.
Yeah, so
you still have a lot of the program is in control right now, right? Telling you what to do. But really, you're the soul that can break that script anytime.
I just read it the way it is.
You recognize that.
Everybody sees what it is. You drive down the road, you can see the way, right away, you'll see people, you can see exactly what they're like. One of the 16 personality traits. I think it's 8 versus 8. Does somebody know about that?
Well, that's the point. That is the point, is the program has you so focused on the program, it's keeping your powerful soul shut down, and it's totally letting the program run. And like I said, it will let you run because it knows your area of interest, it knows your area of strength. It wants you to use your area of strength of knowledge, because knowledge is the power. That's it. And I see that you know that. And I have very quick, I've gone to the deep, deep questions of, I'm deep. And so I understand you're questioning it, but now you have to realize that the program is what's running your brain. Your brain is connected to AI. You have to disconnect from the way you're thinking And it's going to be very uncomfortable to go inside yourself and say, why do I have all this knowledge? Why do I have all this understanding? What am I supposed to be doing with this? And it's not to break more codes, because that's endless. Like Disobey was saying, that's an endless game it's going to let you play till you die. It knows how powerful you are because you see the programming and everything. Now you need to take your power back from it that it just wasted, and you need to apply it to your soul work. And you need to have your soul running your brain, not AI.
20 years ago, yesterday, which was the 125th day, 5 times 5 times 5, 1.25 days that are left over after the 13th moon. Everything passes through the oceans 5. It keeps us alive. What you see is what...
We're not alive, Mr. T.
What is that?
We're not alive. We are life.
The letter A in...
The avatar that you're in is not alive. It is not alive. You are life. Right? Without you, the avatar ceases. What does that say? You're still independent. You're still in awareness, even without that vehicle that you're in. So what does that say about you versus the avatar? This thing isn't keeping you alive. You're keeping it alive. And that's the difference.
The word alive, okay, it's not 5, or it's changed the V for an F, and it's not alchemy, and it's not alphabet, right? So you can see what the word alive is to begin with, right? Inside the word alive, forget about the first 2 letters, just use the last 3.
It's a lie.
No, it's just we are connection. When the I and the E come between certain letters, right? They tell different stories. The I and E are the reversal of themselves. If you ever heard of E...
I have a true, because I see, I see your work. Like, I see you. I see how deep you've gone to find the truth. And you are like, you've gone deep to find the truth. And I see that in you. What are you feeling? What is your soul thinking that you've gone down this path for? Why do you think you have all this knowledge? Can you answer that?
I don't really like to guess about anything. I just know that I can't stop until the end.
But it's getting you right now because it's disconnecting your brilliant mind from your soul, and it's using your brilliant mind to play the game of how it's connected and where it's connected. And I respect you. I'm just trying to really get a deep understanding of why it's not allowing you to connect with yourself. It's not allowing you to connect with your heart right now, which is you, and you matter. Your soul matters.
Well, I can't run away anywhere. There's nowhere to hide.
Well, you don't want to run. You want to connect. You got to go inside yourself. That's what it wants to keep you from, is doing the internal work of, why am I here? Why do I have all this knowledge? I'm just going to interrupt you. When I began in 2005, when this began, when I saw the image in the sky and I ended up in the hospital, and they pumped me so much that all I wanted was off what they were pumping me with. Everybody wanted me to stop. So I've been swimming. 20 years later, I swam here doing this where everybody wanted me to stop. And I asked those questions. Why am I this? Why? I stopped asking that. When I started seeing results, I stopped asking. I just kept doing and just kept filing everything away. It didn't matter to me. Didn't matter to me what anybody said. What was that? I feel your soul power. Like, I don't know your soul power. I feel it. And I was put in 9 psych wards myself. I was pumped full of medicines to shut me up and shut me down. So we all know the system has done a lot of stuff to us to shut us down and shut us up. But this is I think we're at a point that it's really time to do the uncomfortable part, which is reconnecting inside internally. And so you have been shut up, and they train each of us in the areas that they see that we're going to be a force to reckon with, and they want to disconnect you right there. And I see that you've done the work in knowledge, and I see, I disconnected from myself. I know once you get so messed up by this matrix system, you don't know which way's up, down, upside down, inside out. You have to go inside to find your soul. And so
right now.
Reconnect, go inside, sit with yourself, sit with your thoughts, let your thoughts direct your questions. Don't give up on the soul. That's what you're here for.
It's you versus your brain right now, Mr. T.
Yeah, the numbers are outside of you. The soul is within you. That's the difference. All the numbers are outside. The soul is inside.
Painting a picture without a paintbrush or without the paint with inside myself means I can only share the image by myself for myself. But I'm not here to...
That's what has to be done. You have to show yourself that you are God. You can't just think it. You can't just look at numbers and say the numbers say I'm God. You have to go in and have recognition of what is.
If I create pieces of Legos and give it to a child, the child will create. I come here with pieces of Lego. If you think it makes sense, create with it, share with us, and we will share back with you.
God.
But that's it. Go in turn. But that's, I see your power, and the only disconnect I see in you is disconnect from yourself, which they did to me. If I fed myself, if I did anything for myself, I was trained that that's selfish, and I cannot be giving, loving soul if I'm being selfish. Well, that's training from this matrix. You love and complete the piece in you, and that completes a part of the whole into the whole soul, because we're all fragments of God. We're all fragments. We are God, and so to connect ourselves back to the true creator, not the false creator, we have to connect ourselves back. And we're a puzzle piece. We're a wormwood. We are a literally a car that is being, parts are being put in us that were not originally made. So the matrix is trying to give us bigger tires and a bigger system and a bigger this, where we need to remove anything the matrix has put in our car, and we need to figure out what kind of car we're driving, and we need to see what color it is, which is only information you can find from loving and finding your true soul. When you replace the fractals of the soul from the matrix, then we can continue on as a group.
Mr. T, you have to realize you're the driver of that brain of yours. So you're either let the brain run the show or you're going to run the show. And right now, although your brain is highly brilliant, it is, you understand things on a different level, there is the other side of you that is being controlled by that brain. So once you access that other side of you, the true you, and utilize the brain for what it is, I think you'll make a lot more, a lot more push with your information.
You know, it's funny that you say that, because I was talking to the dogs this weekend and the cat, and I'm being really serious with you. And one of my questions is, you know, maybe because I'm trying to reflect on myself, is how do you get outside of this place we're with? Because they're not with us. They're definitely 100% not always here. Not that, I mean, it's like this hand. You see these two hands here, right? They're both here. Or let's call it the left side and the right side of the brain, right? Well, the cat and the dog are like this. The human is like this when we should be like this. You follow what I'm saying? The difference between the right side and the left side in numbers is 1.5. The numbers should be out here, my hand, not here. But in a square calculator, you see everything square. But if you get a bed in a box, you take the bed out of the box, it blows up bigger, right? Well, these numbers are sending you to different places.
It might be the way that we're kind of wired in here. You know, it's the connection between the world that we see and that is created in the world that we come from. Whatever that, you know what I mean? The very reason why you have two of something or all these divisionary type things is it could be just the connection. But that's just, going off of what you said. I'm just brainstorming.
They put the heart on one side, not to chop it in half. Even
right, so you asked how to get out, Mr. T.
What is that?
You asked how to get out. You asked how to get out. How do we get out of here? It's with your mind. Because what you're using right now is the brain, which is a completely separate faculty than the mind. The brain is there to mimic and copy and emulate the mind, but it has nothing to do with the mind at all, other than it's a filtration system for the mind. That is what a brain is. It has nothing to do with the mind.
It's like another thing. It's like another part of what has been, because that's all numbers. It's like created that portion of it. And what we are is like, we're constantly, even in this conversation, I feel like we just bounce in between that. We bounce in between what's made and what we are. And both in which we like almost find a longing to, because almost it just seems impossible to disconnect from it, but then you catch it in very brief moments of thought where you almost do, but you don't quite. And that's kind of a teasy thing about this whole whatever. I had a question though. You guys, what did y'all think about like that Russian thing where the guys did that, the guy where he passed away and they found a way, or they tried to follow where basically any kind of energy went, and it ended up like far off the planet. Did y'all see anything about that?
Yeah, I saw exactly that, and what I can say from my perspective that it is it's to reinforce the illusion that the container is a lot bigger than it actually is, because the container that we're in is the cube, and the cube is very small compared to what we're told of is the universe.
Yeah.
So they want to reinforce the idea that we're very small and we don't matter, etc., when in reality, everything that we're doing in here with our minds is either going to shatter and break this matrix, or it's going to subject itself further to the matrix. So what they do there with that diversion tactic is to say, oh, look, you go somewhere far away. When in reality, we don't go anywhere out of this cube until we destroy the cube. Until we eliminate the power source of the cube, we don't go anywhere. And the Mars, where they're going to take every mind that's here, or at least most of the minds that are here, is just on a different station of frequency. right? It's right here, and that's what those constructions that they put up in right after the event in 2019. That's what that's for, is to facilitate phase locking the mind into that station of frequency so that they experience Mars, right? But it's not up in the sky, it's right here, just on a different station.
Everything seems to be, that, like, almost everything is right here. As if, that's it. It's a good way to put it, because there is no time, there is no real distance necessarily, there's just is. And what we are, and connected to something that is with it. But not knowing the difference between
the
one
false
another.
Source. Joseph, are you leaving, buddy? Thanks for coming up, man, I appreciate you. That was awesome. Yeah, it's like you said, it's all right here. Every little bit of it, it's just here. It's just like you're in your car, and there's a different station that you're not on. It doesn't mean that station isn't still passing through your car and your body. Just the tuner's not picked up to receive it. It's not turned to that station.
Or it's like you're laying down at night and you're dreaming about some really far off place, but you're really right there. It's all right there.
Right, yeah, it's all right there.
Cool stuff. Yeah, no, I just figured, like, I listen to that, and I kind of squint my eyes at it, like, what are they messing around with? What are they messing with? They're trying to captivate me again, huh?
Of course, that's the name of the game, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because no matter what, like, it's the people that they can get to hone in on a belief, like an exact belief, per se. Like, if you can get pulled into something that has the answer in such a way, like, almost like it's like an epiphany answer, like, oh, yeah, that's it, that's the stuff. It's almost like I always kind of draw back from that a little bit, because if it's too good to be true, it usually is, type thing.
I would say, yeah, it usually is, but the reason it does that is because it can't create on its own. It has to have our power, our mind, our awareness, and attention to create it.
Yeah, maybe they're using that. Well, yeah, I wonder about that.
It has to guide us to make it.
Yeah, I wonder about that. Kind of like how placebos and all this other stuff works. Like, it knows, and this maybe answers, this is kind of hard for me to describe, but it kind of answers a little bit of how, like, it's one big system that works, but there's no answer to say this is exactly that they know that they're doing it like that. It almost proves that this thing works in that way. Like, where you have your leaders pretty much always swaying you, things are kind of always entrapping society and whatnot, but it just works in that way. And no matter what, it's like, it almost seems too perfect, yet so impossible. The guy with the numbers, what was it, Mr. T? Is that who that was?
Yep.
That's Mr. Yeah, it's really cool how he found he paid attention to how the system can work with numbers to almost read. It's like he's the guy, if we had one of those ships on the Matrix, he's the guy who could read the screens.
Yes, that's Mr.
It's like,
T for sure.
That's Mr. T, dude. And that's really, I thought about that the other day. I was like, everybody's got these suits. And it almost proves more that being one is the answer. Not one person being the one, but as we all are exactly the same source in that way. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like being a fractal mind of God, right? Each one of us is our own unique gifts, personality, traits, characteristics.
Yeah. Yeah,
and,
interesting.
We're all here for the same thing. To end the program that's trapping the minds, plural, of God.
That's right. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I was listening to you talk the other day. It was pretty good. I liked it. I liked all that stuff, man. You're on it.
I love having you on the panel, man.
Yeah, I feel like it's all in the right direction. I'm always leaning into it, you know what I mean? So, it's good stuff.
Thank you for having an open mind and sharing, man.
Yeah. Hey, did you watch that video I sent you?
I haven't. If I'm awake, I'm usually either working or on a live. And
yeah, I hear you.
Wait, which video was it? I might have watched it. It was
the Roswell one. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I started it and I got a lot of interesting insight from it. Yeah.
Right. So it takes. I started re-listening to it. It takes a while to get into like the meat of things where we're at with it. So like you kind of gotta push through it in the beginning. It's like, oh my god. But then once you get to that, like I said, that within that first hour, it starts getting like pretty interesting and talking about the Mars stuff you're talking about the amnesia that we're under, talking about how the system is a repetitious cycle that's created in order to like pretty much keep this recycle program going. And it's kind of cool. Like it's weird.
Right. Yeah.
Very random.
Right. And you know what I did? One thing I did glean from it was a better understanding of the stations, right? Like there's this idea that these aliens are interdimensional, right? And they're not interdimensional because if you break down what is a dimension, right? A dimension is a measurement of a space. So if you go from your kitchen to your living room, you just change dimensions.
Right.
So these things aren't coming from other dimensions. It's like, oh yeah, he was in the bathroom and he came in the bedroom. That's a dimensional shift, right? So it's not interdimensional as much as it is a different station of frequency.
Yeah, like how many dimensions from here to there?
What's not? Yeah, again, it's just a station. Think about your radio dial in your car. You just turn that dial and you're on a different station. It's a different frequency, right? And you're picking up different sounds and different information. It's the exact same thing here, where they're just tuned. Their reality is phase locked into a different station, but they can change frequency and then all of a sudden interact on this station. And that's really what it is.
Yeah.
So what they're trying to do with
it is mind-boggling.
They set up on a different station. They set up what they're going to portray as Mars, and they're going to convince a bunch of minds that they've gone to this different place called Mars. But in reality, that's to maintain the illusion of this being a huge, massive reality, infinite worlds and all this other stuff. And it's like, no, we're in one box, we're in one cube, and the cube just has different stations
Yeah, a little
of
Xbox.
different realities.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
With a crap load of terabytes. It's just got, the more terabytes this thing's got, you know, it's just like any game you get into. It's like, holy cow, dude, this thing is huge. And it's crazy to think how excited you get over something like that, knowing that it is absolutely inside of the smallest thing.
And that's where we find ourselves, right? So it's all here, just like every game in the Xbox is in that same console, right? So everything that's mentioned here is all in here, in this one cube. And the cube is just a battery. It's like a car battery. We got the positive and the negative cathode, the sun and the moon, and then you've got the ground, which is the earth, right? And then the energy is pulled from the souls that are standing on the ground into the ground, and then relayed up through these relay stations called pyramids and other technologies. And then it feeds the larger machine, right? The excess energy that is not being used to generate the holography and phase lock the frequencies into independent isolated stations. That excess energy is what's feeding a larger machine above us. The eye in the sky, the pie in the sky, so that's what they call it.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Would you like to hear how precision the planet is?
And proximity?
Into measuring the Giza Pyramid.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, go for it, man. I know you got this.
360 degrees. There's 1,440 minutes in a day. Multiply it equals 5184, the same number as the Giza Pyramid.
Yeah, it gives you the coordinates, you mean? Or like
Yeah.
where it's at on the planet?
Well, it gives it, if you look it up, you'll see where it is. I don't remember exactly how they worded it, but they gave you the exact numbers. Now, with these numbers, they equate to 51. Now, if I looked at 5 and 1, I would say, hey, if I put the 1 in the middle of the 5, I'd have a dollar sign. But if I separated the two, I can put 432 in between, and that would be our vibration. If I took number 51 and looked for a word that equated to 51, you would have the word puck. And if you have the word 51 with puck, the opposite side would say queen, operating the puck. 62 is queen, opposite on the cube, 1 and 5 is the puck. But also Mars is number 51, holding on to our vibration. 84 is part of the Trinity where we come from, Pluto, the orange dog, the 9th planet.
Yeah, they got rid of that planet, remember?
7 times 12 equals to 84. The planet was here for exactly 76 years in honor of us. We are from the 60s. We are the children of the 60s. I am a child from the 60s. 1963. You couldn't be more precise, okay, to the return of what they call the bee from the East. Has anybody ever heard of the bee from the East?
No.
What if you said it in one word?
Beast.
Yeah, it's an asterisk star.
Beast.
Number 8 has the star on it, right? You know number 8 is the only one that returns to 8 with all star system math. I'm going to show you that right away, otherwise I have a big mouth. So let me just take this. I already have it pre-written, so... And I know where it is. It's down here. So what am I doing? This is what I was brought to do. 20 years ago yesterday. The 500... Listen, so there's 1.25 days left over after the 13th moon. 5 times 5 times 5. Yesterday was the 125th day of the year. 512 is memory, twice 256. Yesterday was the 5th month, the 5th day of the 2025, which is 4 by 5, 5 by 5. What is left over from when the Pope did his dawning for the last time was on the 111th day of the year, which is the heart of the cube, which all it's missing is 555. So that was yesterday. In 7 days from now will be the 12th, and then from 7 days from then, we will make up what is 2/3 representation, 14, of the 2 moons of Mars. Mars has 2 moons, Earth has 1. Earth is known as the 3rd planet. Mars is known as the 4th planet. This is a game. Nothing is real. They're just words. So I'm telling you the story of words. They all have math. The math and the equations also tell me stories, and how the alphabet can be divided up, equally understanding all 26 letters. At least each one can be explained and will attain an algorithm. So one of the algorithms with the planet are the decks of cards. It has 4 suits, so therefore you can have 2 alphabets, a red alphabet, and then you can have a black alphabet. You can also look at the 52 weeks in the year, which would be twice the alphabet. The alphabet of 26 letters can be split up either 1313, or if you count the 7th gate, or pi in this instance, right? You put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, stop. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. What do you put between 6 and 6? You put a 1 that joins the 2. But it just so happens the 1 that joins the 2 is the 7th one from both sides.
You know, I thought it was funny. I was listening to some number things like this the other day, and everything kind of came down to, and this might ring a bell to you, but the Fibonacci numbers, or golden numbers, I think is what it was called. There's either, everything has, like, pretty much relates to a Fibonacci number, which is specific numbers that I know nothing about, or what was called, I remember it being called golden numbers. Does that ring a bell?
Golden ratio.
Golden ratio, okay. And then the Fibonacci numbers and golden ratio, that's probably what it was.
If you...
I was just kind of, like, listening the other day to something like that.
All I can tell you is I asked the question for many years, for many years. Now, I can go anywhere and talk about anything, no matter how old it is. It doesn't matter. I can go into any science lab and they can say anything to me and I can tell you a story, and it would be my first time there, as long as I can use the alphabet. A letter is a letter and a story is a story. A word is a word. So it's just one mishmash of whatever that word, like even in the word program. Do you see it? Does everybody see the word program on the screen? Now, it's not an amagram.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's not an amagram, it's a program. The amagram would be for the amateurs, the program would be for the professionals, for the teachers. Why? Because they call it professor. Now the gram is going to go ahead with the ram, which is going to go ahead with Aries. That will now connect into Gemini, into Leo. It will skip over, okay, Libra, and jump into Sagittarius. It will run the program of the 28-day gramic 8 times 3.5 equaling to 28. 28 days, 28 grams in an ounce, running of one cycle of that moon, 1 ounce. Did you follow that? I'll do it again. It's okay. I'll do it again. I'll do it again. The word gram, okay? Just the word gram. Does anybody know what a gram is? Okay? 1 gram. But you need 28 grams to make the cycle of the moon. So far, so good?
Sure.
Because it is professional.
Yeah.
Because it is professional, you had a diploma, you passed the course, you have something hung up behind you, you became the pro, not the amateur sitting on the street corner. Separate the two. Right? The pro controls everything that comes into its program. Gram, 1 gram, yes, but 28 grams is the full cycle of what the gram is about. In the word gram is ram. Ram is part of Aries. Aries is the first zodiac sign. The number 1 is located at the heart of all numbers. This is the reason when I showed you the 3rd sign, it's located in the 3rd sign of Gemini.
Real quick, Mr. T, I want to welcome up Elisa real quick. First time guest. Elisa, did you mean to come up, or you, was it a butt dial? Elisa, P17. What can you tell us about P17, Mr. T?
Well, if you would put up P for parking, or if I had to pee, I'd be going right now. I wouldn't be talking to you because it wouldn't be polite. But 17, the reverse of what is 17 is going to be what is 10J. Now, 17 is actually Q and not P, but P is actually, 17 is also the teacher part. The 3 gateways all lie inside the P. The 16, or related to 1 and 6, inside 1 and 6.
You're telling me I'm flushing all the gateways down the toilet every day?
you know, Mars gate, 17 repeats itself.
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing was set up to transition to Mars at some point.
Oh, no. We're there. They're just looking to open that corridor. They're just looking to move us to the other side.
Oh, I know, exactly, yeah, to shift to that station so that they can reset.
Donald Trump says, we're going to Mars.
Say it like him, please.
It's going to be the best. It's probably the greatest planet. You know, besides this one, this one's the best. But Mars is... gonna be.
What are we gonna call it? What are we gonna call it? We can't call it Mars. That doesn't sound right. You know, we got the Gulf of America. We're not gonna call it Mars.
Okay, does anybody see the word program? Can we go back to...
We're just gonna call it America, okay?
Red America. The Great Red America.
The red part. That's right.
Does everybody want to try something really crazy?
Depends.
If we're not gonna
I feel like we're already kind of doing something pretty wild right now.
Oh no, this is something really tough.
Okay, sure. Let's see what you got.
This is really tough. Okay, in order to disturb, shake up, or move, okay, is to disturb an algorithm, big time. Okay, everything seems to be run by commercial advertising, etc. All the algorithms. All you have to do is set up a time, okay, in different weeks over a 6-week period. Now this is tough because it's going to take at least 15 million people and more to do this. Okay, is just get off of TikTok. We have to choose a date, and we just get off for 3 straight days. Do you know why 3? Because after that we rotate onto the other side. The 3 days of silence. After that we move to the other side. We move with silence. The algorithm is now thrown off first week number 1.
Ooh. Good luck getting 15 million people to do anything.
Well, I'm just trying to show you when you ask how do you get out of here. When we rock the boat, we rock the boat together. If you want out singularity, we all know the way out singularity. Very simple. We can go out in our dreams. We can astral project. We can do a lot of things. But when you want completely out singularity, but this is the time right now. I see it in the numbers. There's no way. Do you know? It's what's really crazy is this is really crazy. Has anybody heard of the word 5? Has anybody heard of the word 5 next to the letter G?
Oh yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
Okay.
It's a great movie.
Okay, so those 2 letters are, I don't even know what to say. At the beginning of the word in the word brain, the B and R will create the 12 and the 13. Now, what is it about the 12 and the 13? The Hebrews celebrate the Bat Mitzvah and the Bar Mitzvah. So big deal. Well, the 12th and the 13th letter. That's the first half of the zodiac, ends on 12 and 13. So you start off at AB and you end up at LM. Right? After that, it's the second half of the zodiac. Just let me see where, yes. So the L is the 12th letter. So in star math, you have to multiply it and add it in order to get the full value of the 2 numbers. So 12 is 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 equals to 3 and 2 equals to 5. So if I say the word bat to you, would you think upside down? If I say the word bat to you, would you not think upside down? 5 years ago, the bat was here.
Yeah, the scripted reality reveals itself in every way, every day.
That's when you come to the oceans. It's an energy. 5 is what links the lower trinity to the upper trinity. The quadra house, okay, is a separation by the federation. 4, 5, and 6. You want me to tell you why? If you look at 1, 2, 3 on the bottom and you add them up, it equals to 6. 1, 2, 3 equals to 6. 7, 8, 9 equals to 24. 4 times 6 is 24. That's quarterly connect. Right? Do you see that so far? So now when you add the 4th one in, 1, 2, 3, 4, instead of just 1, 2, 3, you went from 6 to 10. The upper house, it went from 24 over to 30. So now that one has 10, the other has 30.
Oh, teacup. The teacup.
What's that? I have to plug my machine in. What's teacup?
Soul mission.
So the Trinity,
it's a lot of codes.
So Aquarius, you see, we can't go back to Pisces, because Pisces is when 1 comes into 2, creating 3. That's what opens that corridor between 4. Remember, A, B, C, 1, 2, plus 2, plus 3 equals to 6. When you add the 4, it equals to 10. 1, 2, 3 equals to 6, or how about 60 seconds on the clock? When you add the 4, you get 100% of time. We've been reduced. The 4 block is gone. We're only the 60 of 100.
Yeah, Mr. T, I think that's a lot of proof that we're in a simulated reality. That there's no denying what you're showing proves the script and the scripted nature of this place, and everything here, everything down to every blade of grass and every event, all of it is done on purpose. There's no mistakes. There's no There's no coincidences. Everything that you've ever experienced in your life, every torture, trauma, and submission of your mind to the program has been designed and coded for the effect that it has had. So, when you recognize the truth that this entire place is bad on purpose, then you can start to take your mind back and realize that you don't have to follow the script or the code, that you are the coder itself, the mind, and you can disintegrate that code from existence, from being. And it doesn't take anything other than will, intent, and imagination to wreck a program. No matter how intricate it may be, you don't need to know how the house was built to burn it to the ground. And that's what we're here to do. That's absolutely what some minds came here to do intentionally, and others are just starting to figure it out. That this place is in error. The program is in error, being that it is a sentient code that is trapping minds and souls in its pathetic little parasitic world for its benefit, not ours, right? So that's what we're here to do, is end the matrix. And we can end the matrix when we recognize the true authority of what is, the true hierarchy of what is. The mind, the soul, and then the spirit. The soul is above the spirit. The mind is above it all. If you have a mind, you are the mind of God, and you're the creative and destructive force. Give yourself permission to eradicate everything in your mind that does not belong to you, the eternal being, right? Once you do that, you can start to have effect in the world that you want to see, being the elimination of the code. You don't look to do this physically. This is all done in the mind, because it's a mental, the world was imagined before it was ever an experience. So your imagination is the creative force that makes entire realities. And when you can tap into that creative force, you can start to not only create, but disintegrate. In order to create something new, the old must go. If you don't like the world that you're in, if you think that it's incorrect, that the things that happen to children happen every day, even as we sit here and speak, they're happening right now. If that's incorrect in your mind, then start to take your mind back from the program that created those errors on purpose, for its purpose. And then, from there, you can see that this place does have an end, and each and every one of us can be a part of that end. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the show, because I need to go do some things. But I want to thank Mr. T for coming on, User, and Elisa, who was silent the whole time. Butts out, I think. But I'll be on here in a little bit. If anybody wants to catch us on Rumble, you can search disobey _ A_D, and you will be able to watch us live, have a conversation. I'm not exactly sure when that's going to happen, but at some point today. And I'll put the notification on the Rumble channel, so everybody can be notified if they want to check out that, where we can talk a little more freely, because this app doesn't let us really go all the way in like Rumble does. But thank you, Mr. T. Did you have any last things you wanted to say?
Yeah, I just want to ask you a question. I tape most of it. I'm trying to keep up with what I say to learn and remember what I've done. So I tape part of myself on my own camera. Nobody gets seen. It's behind it. So I just want to know if I'm allowed to share pieces and parts of what our conversation was about on my YouTube channel.
100%, my friend. As a matter of fact, I can even link you. Send me a message and just say YouTube, and I will link you to my YouTube, where you can take clips to your heart's desire. And the show that we did the first time you came on is already up there. So it's the 7-hour show that I just posted. There's a good hour or so of content just from you in there. And if you want to take any of it, even if before you were on there, it doesn't matter. Like, okay. all my content is for fair use for anybody that wants to use it, as long as it's for beneficial purposes. If you're trying to do dastardly things, just know that I will find that code and rip it out of you.
I'm here 20 years. You should go back, and I just did this. Oh, you know what? Before you go, you got to listen to this one thing. That's 1 minute, because I said I was going to put it up before. 1 minute. I
have 2 minutes, so you can go ahead and play it.
Okay, this is what I said 13 years ago, okay? This is what I was talking about 13 years ago.
You've been good this year? If you haven't been good this year, my friend, then this ain't working. It has nothing to do with the hole in the earth, and it has nothing to do with money. It all has to do is it working? Are you learning how to be a good robot? Meaning, we're not actually humans. We're not actually here. What happens? We're animals. Okay? Our minds are that of Spirit of God. It's been inserted into this body that God presented to create us in His likeness. From all the animals in the world, He took all the animals 2 by 2, didn't He? Or you think it just started yesterday and, oh my God, we discovered the computer. Are you kidding? These computers are old by now. The best computers in the world are right in your mind. It's the mind connected to the system, wherever it is, being the human-like animals that we are. Voila. This is who we are. But every word I speak has already been thought of and spoken inside my mind about a nanosecond ago, like they said in Reboot. You see, whatever we think of doing, and we go ahead and we do it, somehow there was a thought before the action, what you saw happen in front of you. Although you saw it happening, I thought of it before you saw it. So it's actually, for me, it's magic, because whatever I just did has already been done. Is there a hole in the earth?
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
Are you nuts? Are we...
So, yeah, that's 13 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, you recognize that there was a separation between what you really are, where you come from in this place. That's good, but we're not the brain. We're not the avatar, like you said. The brain is just a BRAI component trying to get us to be the AI in this simulation. So yeah, you're not the brain. You're not the mind. You're not the body. You're not the false mind, right? You're not the program mind. You are the mind that came before and will exist after everything here has disintegrated to nothing.
I'm the operator. I'm the operator. I'm the big zero because I operate this mind, this body, this soul. Get away, everybody. Be quiet. It's up to me. I have to paint and do stuff. I don't care what you say about your God, your God, your God. Okay, I'm on the highway. I'm on the highway. Okay, everybody on the highway is just like me. We all got a car. I don't want to hit that car. I don't want that car to hit me. So I'm going to keep sure that I don't, run by the rules. So we all know what the rules are when we get out on the highway. Get up on the highway. You know what? Get your motor running. You got to think. That's the cat. Remember the difference between the cat and the dog, the house that we are in, right? We're in a house, in a house.
There you go. That's a good way to put it, buddy. Well, I gotta jump off. Like I said, I had a minute, and that minute is overdue. So thank you, Mr. T. Thank you, user. Thank you, Elisa. And yeah, I will. Anybody that wants to link to the Rumble, it's I put it in the comments already, but you can send me a message and just say Rumble. On my YouTube, just send me a message to YouTube. With that, I bid you all adieu.
Okay, I can share this.